Hey everybody, Bryce here. I wanted to take a minute to talk about designing tests. Gordon and I have a couple of tests coming up. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks we'll be able to knock them out. We'll start posting up some information as we crunch the numbers on things. Got a cool barrel test coming up. Should be able to tell us accuracy to bore size, efficiency to bore size, efficiency to length, accuracy to length, one piece versus two piece, and a bunch of other stuff. That tied in with our brake test as well as the underbore efficiency and consistency testing. We're hoping to be able to give you the answer backed up by data, not the common knowledge answer. We're hoping to be able to tell you optimal barrel design, meaning one piece or two piece, length, how that affects efficiency and everything else, as well as all the bore to accuracy. I think we're going to be able to give you a definitive answer when people say what's the best barrel. We're going to be able to say, based on our testing, based on data, X is the best barrel. We're not going to tell you the brand. We're not going to say Custom Products is the best barrel. Probably very good, but not what our testing is about. Instead, in this case, we're going to come out and we're going to say something like, we suggest you use a one-piece underbore 14-inch barrel. That was an example. That's not the answer. It might be. We don't know. Don't take that as the answer, but that's just an example of what we're going to tell you. We're not going to tell you what specific brand it's going to be. We've got some rifling involved too. We've got some rifle barrels to stick in the mix, so that should be really interesting. Anyway. Alright, got interrupted there for a moment. Hope you enjoyed the interlude. The testing. Doing the test is not difficult. Most of our testing is really boring, and the actual testing portion, not hard. Anybody can do it. Really, anybody. Doesn't even know if you know what you're doing with paintball. All you're doing is write down a number. Write down a number. The gun's clamped to the vise, blah, blah, blah. I want to talk about designing a good test. How to dig in and think about what you're trying to do. Here's the basics of it. Variables. If you have 5 things that you're changing, you will never be able to tell which of those is changing your test the most. You just can't do it. Here's how we're doing our testing. We're going to be doing a test at 50 feet, which means we have a hard target mounted at 50 feet, splatter guards and all that, because that's easier for cleanup. Hard target at 50 feet. Gun is locked in a vise, attached to a bench, heavily weighted bench. I think last time we did this, we had about 200 pounds of sandbags on a bench. It is fed off of a constant air system. That means what we're doing is we're cascading a scuba tank into a small tank, so we've got a huge volume of air, but it's running through the same tank reg, so it is going through the gun at the same pressure. Through the same gun, we don't change the gun, you don't touch the gun, it stays locked to the vise. Unscrew the barrel out of the front, put the new barrel in, exactly the same spot. Our rig, we also attached a laser pointer to the gun body itself, and then marked a dot on the wall where that laser pointer was lined out. Had nothing to do with where we were trying to hit. All it was is to make sure we didn't bump the gun and change its aiming point. This means that as we're changing things, the only thing we're changing is the barrel. That's how we can make these claims about things. There's some questions on TechPV. Oh yeah, for those of you who don't spend time over there, Punkworks section of TechPV, there's some great people posting over there. We've got just a ton of people that are really smart, doing some great work on things that, quite honestly, Gordon and I may not be interested in. Polishing internals on a Tippmann. That's cool. I'm not going to do it. I don't have any Tippmanns anymore. But, it's fascinating. A ton of people shoot Tippmanns. So there's people doing great testing out there. And the key to that great testing is to figure out your variable. Here's my suggestion. Anybody out there who's at all interested in what we're doing, pick a variable that you're interested in. Doesn't matter what it is. Does polishing internals on a Tippmann help? Yes or no? Let's say that again. Now, the way you design your test is you're going to try to decide what variable you're testing for. Let's say, does polishing the internals on a Tippmann get more consistency? That's an easy test to do. Take your gun, stick it on a vise, stick it on a table. It doesn't really matter. You're just doing the same thing over and over. Probably want to level it in case you're shooting CO2 so you don't suck liquid in. Set your gun on a let's say, lock it in a vise. Put a chronograph in front of it. Shoot 20, 30, 50 shots. The larger your sample, the better. Go polish it, come back using the same paint, same air source, same gun, same chrono, shoot again. Now you've got numbers. If that's all you get, cool, you post that up, somebody's going to help you crunch that, and we're going to be able to tell you yes or no. Does it help the consistency? In that case, what we're saying is same air source, same gun, same chronograph, same bench vise. If you can make all those the same, then the one thing you changed polishing, I don't know how much it's going to change it, is measurable because you can actually see what you're doing. So my suggestion would be take something you're interested in. If you state it as a question, you're going to get a good clue as to how to test it. Does X do Y? All you have to do is limit the Y possibilities, and you'll be able to figure out X. The reason I'm posting this video is that, there have been a couple of threads on Tech TV talking about, somebody asked about glass barrels. Glass barrels are probably really cool, or clear barrels, I guess is what he asked about. I'm sure that there's people on Tech TV and on Punkworks who have great insight into clear barrels, what materials would work great for it, but if there's no question asked, you can't test it. And really, Punkworks is all about data and testing. So I just want to encourage everybody over the winter, if you're down south, you can do an outdoor test. If you're up here in the north, pick something you can use in your basement. Pick up a tube of reballs and then test efficiency. Do it on a marker you have. Do it on something you can do that'll try to improve your game. That's where all this testing comes from for me. Is that I only do tests that I think can help my equipment. It sounds selfish, but it's fair. I do tests that I think can help me win more paintball games. That's why I'm doing it. If I can figure out what barrel shoots best, cool. I'll get that barrel and I'll play better. Well, my play might not be any better. It'll be still, I'm a rec ball player. But if my equipment's performing better, it's going to help my game out. So take your gun. Decide something you want to improve. Everybody wants to improve something. Formulate it as a question. If you want help designing a test, go on Tech PB, go on the Punkworks section, and post up and say, I want to design a test to figure out if X does Y. You put that up there, and I guarantee within about an hour, you're going to have somebody telling you how to do that test. And we would love to see your data. Do a test, put your data up there, and that's about it. The more people participate, the better. We've got some great people participating now. The larger segment of the paintball community that starts actually helping out on this testing and producing their own, the better off we're all going to be. And I think at some point we're going to actually force the manufacturers to start listening and stop making outrageous claims, or at least show the data that they have backing up their outrageous sounding claims. Anyway, hopefully I didn't take up too much of your time. We will see you on Punkworks, and hope to have that big barrel test up really soon. We've also got some cool crush test things coming up. We're going to figure out how much force it takes to kill different kinds of paintballs. Look for our stuff in early January on through the winter. We're going to try to get enough testing done that we can crunch the data and kind of get releases out in segments and have some good conversations. So keep your eyes open, and of course, fire any questions our way. Talk to you later. Bye.